War of 1812 gravesite in downtown Detroit receives historical marker. A War of 1812 gravesite, discovered in the 1980s during an archaeological survey ahead of Thea People Movers construction, was commemorated Saturday with a historical marker in downtown Detroit. A years-long effort to raise money and plan for the marker's dedication culminated with a small crowd of about 21 people standing in the median of Washington Boulevard, across the street from the Westin Book Cadillac Hotel, near the intersection with Michigan Avenue. I.M. The War of 1812 was. The marker explains what happened later. War.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park, pot.